This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More. If it's Tuesday, it's always Giving Tuesday, no matter where we may be around the world. Support the arts, support those nonprofits, as they really do need help. Easy way, Better Vision for Children and the Dreamweaver Arts, Dreamweaver Artist Ranch. And the whole thing about this is these shows are always booked. When we have last minute people, Adam, you never know what's going to happen. You just go with the flow. Jake too, because I hadn't seen Jake. I miss meeting Jake and Erin. It's always good to see my little friend who's a dynamite thing when it comes to all these things. Howard, when we had sound with him, is always good. He's always stylish. People are always asking, what's Howard going to wear? How am I supposed to know? I don't dress Howard. He dresses himself. Nobody knows what he's going to wear, but we just know he's the dapper guy. He looks really, really good. And it's always good to see him when I go to Nashville. So, when you're that actor, you're that voiceover person, and you've been in, let's see, Adam, you don't know that I do this off the top of your head. DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Two Broke Girls. What else can I think of? Oh, The Night Agent, which I love, but people really should see. And, you're in Val, The Artist of War, directed by our friend Sean McNamara, which is good. And when Holly says good things about you, that's always a good thing, too. And then the other thing is, well, yeah, she does. And then when you come to, let's see, Gaming for Love, it was an Oscar-nominated qualifier. She's an award winner. Let's see. She is a songwriter, recording artist, director, producer, columnist. Yes, Erin, columnist. Let's see. What else?
She's an
Talent Agency. Well, that too. Good,
yeah.
Carol. Yep.
She's an ambassador. She's a black belt. I can't wait to hear about Shotokai. That's super cool. I'm a black belt, so I can relate to that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I'm only a brown and red. I didn't think I was ready. And then last but not least, hold on, Carol.
Okay.
Jake. And you know why Jake's important? Because Terry likes his products. And she was telling me about it, I think last week. I'm like, where did you get this from? It was at the gifting suite. I didn't know about it. Turns out it was right next to Carol's table. Yeah. And that one booth I did not get to, sorry, Jake, was yours. But I know the product is good. And the reason I know it's good, because one is Utah based, farm to table. So that's always a good thing. Helps release stress. Yes, there we go. See, Rebel's on it. She knows. I don't even have to tell her. That's why I like having a woman engineer, because she's on it. But when you have those things like that, and helps stress-related things, help you sleep, which is what I need, because my brain works too much when I only get 4 hours and I'm not good. Howard can relate to that, because he only gets 4 hours too, because he's putting stuff up at midnight, Central Time. But, when you have those things and it's good for helping you and balancing your life, that's a great thing. And I think he's coming back for Heather Mariano's Oscar viewing party, which will be good, obviously, too. So, Carol, I interrupted you, but here we are. Oh, yes, we're on Talk for Media, K4HD Radio, streaming on over 100 outlets around the world. Obviously, almost 41 million views and counting out of iTube 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee. Not on YouTube. There's only 2 million on YouTube, but around the world. So now that I got that out the way, Carol, I sorry to interrupt you because you were on Erin and you on Jake.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I'm super excited that Adam's here too, especially my business brain. And I was going to say, you started one of the top talent agencies in the UK, and this Erin Gavin, and businesses, obviously entrepreneur minded. It's super interesting that Adam went from business school into the whole acting world. And Jake, it was amazing to see you. And I love your product. I can't wait to get more of it.
Thank you.
It was, it's so beneficial for our health. So I can't wait to hear all about that too.
Great. Thanks. Good to see you.
And I keep running to the door to see if it got here yet, because I'm like, man, I was upset. And I knew. I kept looking at the table, but it was sideways. I was at Carol's table. I was doing a couple other things, making sure our camera people were okay, and Terry was okay because she was on the red carpet. And I always tell people, you can be at an event, especially at a gifting suite, and not everybody will see everybody. And it is true, because we run into so many people, we get busy talking. We were around the table and Amy Graves was taking pictures. And I'm like, I got to get to this table because I went to the one to your left, Jake. And I'm so embarrassed that I didn't get there. But the good thing is that Haley reached out. And if it weren't for her and Heather, that's a great thing. I'm like, oh, and when Terry says it works, I know it works. That's a great thing.
Yeah,
so
we'll have to give you some samples. We'll send some samples out to you guys.
Well, you know what? Hey, so Carol, who should we start with first?
Well, it's interesting. I'd love to hear a little bit from Jake, because we were both sponsors together at Heather Mariano's suite. And I think they're going to love knowing about this product. Absolutely love knowing about it, because it's all about the hemp plant and the benefits that it brings to us.
That's right. Yeah, we started in 2018 when we had some federal landscape to work from. The federal farm bill allows us to use hemp over the counter without a cannabis medical card. Comes from the same plant, but we use more of the plant to achieve functions. Sleep. Everybody needs sleep. 1 in 4 adults in America have trouble sleeping. Stress, occasional stress, and muscle and joint recovery. Those are our top 3. And it's functional blends. So we use different parts of the hemp plant to accomplish those effects. CBD is only one of the compounds. There's over 200 compounds of the hemp plant. And we found that we went to Israel and hired the doctor and his team who discovered THC, Raphael Meshulam, and they've been studying cannabis for decades. They've done a lot of human trials and studies. So we went and hired him and his team help us formulate those blends that they've done so much research on. And I would say our top products are the sleep and the muscle and joint. We also have a topical that's formulated with muscle and joint, and it activates within 5 to 7 minutes. It's all organic, cosmetic, and botanical.
It smells good. It smells great. And I've already used it like on my mom, for her neck and back, and it goes on really easy. I was like, you smell so good now.
It's great. Yeah, we take a lot of pride in our formulas because we use them, our family uses them, and we find that there's an alternative way to feel well.
Yeah, it was super awesome. I think definitely we need to hear from Erin now, Brian.
I've got a question for Jake.
Sure.
Okay.
So the product you have to help you sleep, is it something that you rub onto you, or is it a liquid that you
That's a good question. Yeah, we have multiple form factors. We have capsules that are gel capsules. We have tinctures, as well as gummies. Yeah, so those are the 3 forms that you ingest. And then the topical is more for muscle and joint recovery.
Good to know. Yeah.
Oh, so since Terry's here, so here's the thing about this. I wouldn't have known about it if it weren't for Terry. So, and she says she likes it because I guess she says it's got a little wind, just enough to calm her down when she, if she's going through the day. So thank you, Terry, for that, because I wouldn't have known. And, Carol and I don't think we even talked about it until after the fact. Let's talk about that product, because Adam, I'm coming to you real quick. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah. Can't hear her. She's muted.
Okay, can you hear me now? Sorry. Hi. Everybody knows me. I've been with Brian since 2014. Obviously, I'm in the healthcare field because I'm wearing scrubs. I'm joining late because I was in service at a hospital today. But since I work in the world of orthopedics, I know how important these products are, especially for like muscle pain and stuff. And a lot of my doctors do use these kind of products. But I had gone through a loss of my mom earlier in the year, so I have a lot of anxiety. So it does help me, and it helps me with my sleep. So I've tried the gummies, I've tried the tinctures, and I tried the pills. I'm a big fan of gummies, but I mean, I like all your products because it helps for different things. There's the ones for the joints that there's like the microdosing, and I really like that because it doesn't give you any of that feeling of any of that high feeling at all. It just kind of mellows you out, which is good because it's hard to find a product that has that low of THC in it. So that I can really helps. But for sleep, I need like 10 milligrams, and it's got the CBN about, which I just recently learned about. For sleep, it's a different way of making the cannabis, I understand, but it's really designed to help you for sleep, and it's really amazing. And it's been a life changer for me because I've been sleeping, but the quality of sleep is a lot better than let's say melatonin, which sometimes it's bad to take melatonin over a long period of time because it depletes your body. I know I'm going into a long speech, but this is my forte is health and fitness and stuff. So I really like, I'm a big fan of the product because there's the different dosages and things. So Heather is the one who pointed me out to you guys. So I really enjoy them.
Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the studio, Rebel's got a question for you. Sorry, Adam, we're coming to you. Sorry.
No problem.
So sorry, Adam. Jake, these products, if someone was on a list for a transplant, would this product pop a positive on a test?
It may, yes. We use the full spectrum of the plant. So we use the whole plant just as nature intended. We do take out some of the THC. Our gummies have like 2 milligrams. Some of our light doses have like 1.2 milligrams just because it's a carrier, moves through the blood-brain barrier easier with THC, and it has that synergistic effect. But it could pop a THC test, yes.
And how long would that stay in your system?
2 to 3 weeks, depending on the dosage and the consistency of the dose, because it can store in fat cells. There is ways to flush your system, but yeah, I'm not a doctor, so those would be some of the experiences that I've heard from.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey Adam, hold on. We have to always test Howard's. See if we have sound. Howard, do we have sound from you?
You do. You do.
Okay.
Today.
Tell everybody who you are. Go ahead.
Howard Wiggins Interior Design. I'm the inventor of Stacked and Layered Look. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm going to the Houston Museum in Chattanooga and meet some of my new coming up friends. So at an event there. So if you're from Chattanooga, come up and say hi. So that's pretty much it.
All right. Carol, tell them who you are.
I am NeuroCoach Carol, and I run multiple businesses, but primarily I am here to help women that are at 6 figures get to 7 plus. And those are the women I work with in a private exclusive group because I take a stand for women being able to have wealth and have seats at some of the bigger tables. Think about what the world would look like with some of those little boys pissing matches that go on, if you don't mind my reference, if there were a few more women at the table to balance things out, right? So I love doing that.
And so this is 173 live shows in a row and counting, Adam. So Adam, you get to talk about the latest movie, your voiceover careers. We love voiceovers, being that voiceover guy, me, Erin. So that's a good thing. Go ahead, Erin.
Yeah, first of all, Brian and Howard, you guys sleep 4 hours a night? How do you function? That's you need
I
Jake
like
and
Terry.
Charlie.
I've always done it.
Always sleeping 4 hours a night?
sleep
How are you
ever.
functioning? That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And for me, I'm always on East Coast time, whether I'm in Central Cali, or Southern or Northern still part of the country, or on the West Coast, because like this laptop's on East Coast time. This one next to me is on West Coast time. My phone is current. Two of my tablets are on different time. So I just got used to it going from 2018 when I'm traveled. So I don't get jet lag and it doesn't bother me. But, all the ideas that are coming to help, I'm always thinking of what we can do with a lot of our hosts and a lot of our guests. I'm always thinking when I'm sleeping. And, 4 hours is not enough, but that's enough for us. But I want to get more, Jake. So that comes in handy, especially if Terry's talking about it and Carol's talking about it. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess. I guess part of the reason I'm here is to talk about Bao Artist at War, which is a film that's in theaters right now as we speak. It's an incredibly moving true story about Joseph Bao and Rebecca Tenenbaum, who married each other in a concentration camp during World War II. Their story was briefly immortalized in Schindler's List, where you had like a tiny little scene of them getting married, and now this movie is about them. And Joseph Bao, in particular, being an incredibly talented artist who used his art to both survive the Nazis. He was working for them, creating these incredible propaganda posters for them, and then secretly he was a master forger, and he was creating fake documents to save Jews from the Holocaust, and sort of in parallel tracks, staying alive with this skill and then saving people with the same skill. And it's just an incredible story, uplifting, shockingly uplifting story in a very dark time. And, really, I'm fortunate that I've heard from a lot of people in the last week who've seen the movie and have been truly moved, and were worried because, they were like, I don't know if I want to watch a movie that takes place in the Holocaust, but I left feeling so uplifted. And that's, really wonderful to hear that it's had that impact.
I love that, actually. I think that's really powerful. And I'm curious, I don't know much about the backstory of this movie. Were there references with Viktor Frankl's book, with other notable Holocaust survivors?
Yeah, I mean, Joseph Bao wrote his own book called Dear God, Have You Ever Gone Hungry? And within the book, he has his art. And so in the film, sort of the beginning of every chapter is a new piece of his art. And his art is very whimsical, very dark, very funny. It's like really incredible art. And so, yeah, it takes from that. And it takes also from Thomas Keneally's Schindler's List. Schindler is a character in this story as well, because Bao was on Schindler's List, was one of the people on it. What's a crazy thing that happens, I guess I don't want to spoil. I'm spoiling it. I don't care. So his wife finds out that she is on Schindler's List to be saved while her husband was going to go to Auschwitz, to an extermination camp. She managed to switch the names, basically, sacrificing herself, saying, my husband is more important to save people's lives using his art. I'll go to Auschwitz. I'll go to this extermination camp. I'll figure out a way, hopefully, to survive. And when he was saved and went to Schindler's factory, he never understood why his wife didn't come with him. And luckily she survived the Holocaust, and she never told him that she switched the names until they were doing press for Schindler's List 50 years later. They never had one argument where she was like, you know what? You didn't clean the dishes. I went to Auschwitz for you. There was never, she kept that. So humility is just incredible. And to not reveal such a massive sacrifice is really, it's incredibly powerful.
Wow.
Erin, you know what it's like to make a based on a true story film too, and also being Oscar nominated for that. But also, I was fascinated by you being a columnist. I never get a chance to talk to you about that because I can only imagine some of the stuff that you wrote.
Oh, wait. So, were you the producer of that film?
Sorry, me? Was I a producer on it?
Yeah.
No, I'm an actor in it.
Oh,
I play a character named Yitzhak Stern, which, if you guys have seen Schindler's List, was played by Ben Kingsley in Schindler's List. Sir Ben Kingsley.
Exactly. Yep.
At the premiere. So that's why I was asking.
You were there. Okay, great.
Yeah, it was great. I met obviously Sean, and I met the two daughters.
Yes.
They are so lovely.
They're amazing.
Honestly, I 100% back everything Jake just said. I left there like really moved, and it's it's flawless. The movie is actually flawless. So I would highly, highly recommend anybody to go and see that film. Even if you think it might not sound like your cup of tea, just go see it.
Thank
Well,
you.
you know what people forget is that Sean McNamara, you know, is a great director too. He had Reagan that came out earlier, but this movie was supposed to come out in February because it was pushed from last year. And I said, oh, I hope people see it still. And Adam, I was supposed to be there too, but I was with Howard in Nashville at the Nashville Film Festival. And then Terry was invited to go, but she was busy and Carol was in Florida. So we were all going to be there one way or another. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, great job, honestly. Sorry, and I totally interrupted your question. Put it back to Jake.
I'm also honored that you thought I was a producer, which means you didn't recognize me from the movie, which is I take as a compliment.
Yeah.
Erin, talk about you. You're a producer also, so let's talk about that.
So, well, it was not through choice. It was just through, okay, you got to get this off the ground. Let's just do it. Yeah, I've got lots of friends who are producers. They love to do it. It's definitely not my thing. But it is one of those things that you want to get it going and no one else is going to help you. You got to do it. So, yeah, the last thing I produced was Gaming for Love, which you talked about, Brian, which was the short film that became Oscar qualified for this year.
Cool.
Yeah, again, like the other film, it's based on a true story. It's inspired by, should I say, and you just, you know, like the film that Jake was in, that really pulls at your heartstrings. And I'd like to think that the movie I did does the same idea. Like it just leaves you thinking, and it leaves you feeling all sorts of emotions, and that you take something from it.
Hey, Erin, for the audio side of things, let them know where you come from. You're one of my favorite towns in Scotland, Edinburgh. Well, Glasgow. Talk about that.
No, it's so funny because, like, my accent, I think because I've floated around for so long, there's some words now I say with, like, an American accent. So sometimes people don't pick up on the accent. But I'm originally from Glasgow in Scotland. I still reside there most of the time, so I flip back and forth. But I have to say the weather beat in LA.
Yeah.
Erin, it's hard to understand. Your audio is cutting in. Is it just me? Or is everyone else?
No,
here?
sometimes it's going in and out.
Oh no, my hand is covered in it. Okay, is that any better?
That's better.
You hear the accent right now. Erin, what led you to become a black belt, and why did you choose Shotokai?
Well, that's easy. I grew up in a rough, kind of rough. Well, I can say Glasgow is. It can be definitely rough around the edges, and so that was one reason. I was only 6, and it was around, like, I remember I watched, I think it was like a martial arts film, and I said to my mum, like, I want to do that. And she found like a local class, and the local class was just Shotokai. I don't think there was much else going on. And I remember my karate instructor was Mr. and Mrs. Miller. They were so lovely, but they would kick your ass. I did it until the day I came to LA. I've been here 15 years on and off, going back and forth. And I found a class here, but it's not quite the same. But yes, I've been doing it since I was 6.
Wow. So you're still practicing. That's amazing. You know, obviously you must have certifications now in that. And Also, I'm very curious about you becoming an ambassador, a U.S. ambassador.
Oh yeah, so that came around because randomly, when I played Marilyn Monroe on stage, and I think the draw to the World Women's Summit, the lady who ran that, was the fact that I won top 10 shows in the US, but I was Scottish, and when I went for the auditions, there was like thousands of American girls, but I got the part, but I was Scottish. So she was intrigued by that story, and she said, would you come and do a wee talk and at the Clinton Foundation in Arkansas? So we spoke a lot, and then we spoke a lot about business and of course the arts and Marilyn Monroe and everything. And so we conjured up like a speech, and I went to Arkansas and I represented the entertainment industry, and they made me an ambassador for Arkansas. So
Wow.
the governor came and made me an ambassador for young women in Arkansas to help them start new businesses and educate them on entertainment. And so I still fully available to help with workshops and all sorts of things, especially like in underprivileged areas.
Beautiful. And I know you're quite a well-known, renowned motivational speaker too. You definitely are asked to do a lot of that. I think that's such a beautiful step in to be able to spread your impact in that way, through being able to share with people coming from this rough neighborhood and being able to shed light on possibilities that they have. And I do have a question about I'm Through with Love, your song. It was a remake, right, of what Marilyn Monroe had done because of your award-winning plays, your well-known plays for, there were 2 of them for Marilyn Monroe, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I played Marilyn at the West End of London, and there was a gent who is part of our record label, and he actually managed he did U2, the band U2. He was a manager for a long time. He came to the show, and he then introduced me to a record label, and we came up with this idea that we should re-record the Marilyn Monroe songs, kind of like a female Michael Bublé. And so we sort of started off that way. That's why I recorded I'm Through with Love and like Santa Baby and a few others. But as time marched on, I thought, I kind of would really like to do my own thing. So I've been doing my own thing, but those songs that I obviously recorded are out there, including I'm Through with Love.
Wow. Brian, I'd love to ask Adam about some of the voiceover work that he's done.
Well,
Yes.
especially since you got to be careful of we don't want AI to take your voice, Adam, do we?
Right.
No, we don't. Yeah, that's an interesting predicament that will, cause a lot of questions in the future and in the present. Thankfully, it hasn't affected my career thus far, but you never know. Most of my work has been in video games, and I mostly play bad guys with strong Russian accents. Lots of guys like this. Come on, get over here. This kind of thing. Call of Duty and Metal Gear Solid, and but they're extremely dynamic, kinetic jobs. Of course, you're not on a battlefield, but you have to mimic. You have to have the energy, the bravado, the vocal strength. I mean, it's kind of interesting. When you do a job like that, it's all all of your work has to be properly what's the word, organized, so that the real strenuous stuff comes right at the end, because by the end of the day you're like, will you leave in your I need throat coat tea. I can't, it's an incredibly challenging thing to do, but I'm grateful that I've done it, and I look forward to doing more of it. And let's hope that AI doesn't take all of these jobs.
Hey, Adam, so we got a question for you. And
Yes.
it goes, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into voice acting? And then where should they start? And the reason that's a good question, because I started in the early 90s with Dave Sebastian Williams. And, I just always remember him telling me, you got to be more animated. And I couldn't do it. And it took a woman to bring it out of me called Lou Hunt. And she goes, Brian, don't be afraid to wave your hands in the booth. And I'm like, what? And then that's how when I knew I didn't do voice characters. That's not me. I can't do that because that's a special craft that you guys have. I was the warm and friendly guy next door. Still, that's what I was always cast for non-union stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you do come across as very warm and friendly, and you do have a beautiful voice, so I could see that. As in terms of someone who's starting out, I think probably the best scenario is to take a voiceover class with a teacher, because then they help you create a demo, which is crucial. And often those teachers also cast projects. So one thing I learned recently is now a lot of commercials and different projects are actively trying to get people to speak in a way that is like anti-AI.
Yeah.
Because people are starting to be able to sense what sounds like AI.
Yeah.
So in fact, being too perfect is bad.
Yeah.
We want to be able to have people that are a little bit of this, just like a stutter, repeating a very human way of speaking, less polished. But yeah, voiceover is like everything in this business, challenging. There's a lot of people in it. It's like, and it's hard for the cream to rise. It's like there are, in a traffic jam, there are some good drivers, but most of the drivers are bad. But even the good ones are stuck in traffic. So it's like.
Hey, Jake, there's a question for you too. Where can they order the products from?
Sure. Yeah. Our website's goldnaturalshemp.com. You can find us there.
Then talk about what made you start this out of Utah.
It's a great question. I saw the need for alternative wellness. Utah has a lot of cultural identifiers that there was a lot of suffering that I saw, Yeah. And so I saw a cure in people suffering through any element. Pretty much cannabis and CBD has a lot of effect through anybody's struggles. And I found that it connects you to nature. It grounds you. It's not something that, changes you or rewires you. It's a plant. It has an energy. And I think we're connected to that energy. Our bodies are designed to receive the cannabis plant. We have receptors called the endocannabinoid system. Same with animals, dogs and cats as well. So I've found, it just came to me, and I've committed the last 2 decades to this plant. It's a miracle, and we're lucky that we have a landscape to do it legally, and I'm proud of that. So,
yeah, well,
people don't realize that it's not easy. I love talking to a lot of the growers, especially the woman farmers, because one of our friends just went out of business because in California they were getting taxed 37%. That's hard to survive as a small business.
I started in California. So my wife was 5 months pregnant. We decided to move out of Utah and chase the dream. And we were there for 11 years. I raised a small family in Santa Cruz, California. It was beautiful, beautiful life, great community.
I knew you were California. You got that Northern Cali vibe. I just knew it.
Yeah. Yeah. My heart is still in California. I do miss it. But we do have the beautiful mountains in Utah, and the community here is in need. And these are some of my people. So I've been fortunate to be in this space and to grow multiple businesses in this space and help a lot of people. I was there pre legalization when it was medical and collective. And so I've seen a lot of transition and evolution to this space where, you know, I started in a dispensary, nothing was tested, there was no standardization. And so people were getting sicker, you know, because there was no standardization, cleanliness, pesticides were being used at that time and being concentrated into the infused products, and people were getting really ill. And it's been great to see the evolution and the science behind this plant, because it's a medicine and it's cleaner than most foods that we ingest. It's tested on the parts per billion. So we take it serious and we take a scientific approach to it. And that's why our product is so effective.
You know, it was wonderful to see your wife and daughter there. I was like,
oh, that was actually my partner and my employees. Yeah. So my wife and they're home, like supporting me 100%.
Well, yeah. your partner and employee were like, I was like, if it makes me look like this is a good product.
Yeah.
I want more of this, because they were just glowing with health. And I like the idea of there being alternative sources of medicine. So that was awesome.
For sure. Thank you.
All right, Erin, we're going to take hear a little bit of your song.
Which one?
Jealousy's a demon that I don't possess. For some people, it runs through their veins. The masters of disguise, a smiling face, and trusting eyes. Underneath it reads, it's just a fierce. Coming out in envy is how it appears. You try to break me down. See you next Tuesday. Take me as I am, don't try to play. I'm confident in my own skin. See you next Tuesday. I won't give you.
So if Adam's bobbing his head, it's got to be good.
I love a song called "See You Next Tuesday." I love that. That's great.
Got it.
All right, Erin, talk about that song, and then Howard, we're coming to you next.
Well, I'm playing live at the Viper Room if any of you guys are available on the 5th of December, or anybody watching this, come along. We'll be launching a new song as well, but that one, just See You Next Tuesday, I think it was it was the end of August. And let's just say it was inspired by a little bit by an ex, but mainly the idea was that we thought, well, we all know one. So I'll just let you listen to the lyrics and you'll probably get what I mean.
You know, it's funny, when I got a chance to see her during the Oscar to Get Things Sweet, is something that she was doing at the Mondrian. I think it was the Mondrian. No, the little hotel near there. It was funny because, you know, a lot of us, you know, Adam, normally I'd be interviewing you in person at the Four Seasons or something like that in Beverly Hills, but we're not doing a lot of that, unfortunately. So when we do run into it, we're like amazed that we run into people. That's half the battle, because then you don't get a chance to tell your story a lot anymore. Right, Howard? Howard, so talk about what room you're in. Go ahead.
I'm in the upstairs hallway going to the master bedroom, but like I said, I'm going to be moving, and probably that's what I'm looking forward to. And like I said, I'm going to meet some new friends in Chattanooga, and that's my thing I want to do. So, and if you go on my Facebook, you'll see some history. I've done, I bought some antiques lately, and I've got stories on that. They're kind of interesting. So just follow me on Facebook.
Talk about a little bit that room, that art to the left of you on the wall.
The art to the left, you talk about which is left? The cat or the bumblebee?
The bumblebee.
The bumblebee's one of the artists up in Leiper's Fork, and it's a wax type artwork, and then I put it in an antique. It's called Black Forest frame. So I kind of married the new with the old, which is what I do. I like a little. I don't want all new and I don't want all old. I kind of want to be eclectic and do it differently than anybody else.
Yeah. All right, here's the test question for Adam and Erin. How often are you guys going to the movies? Because The Smashing Machine came out. It's an excellent film, but it, you know, and I knew that was going to happen. You can't go up against the Swifties because you're just going to get knocked out. But you know, DJ didn't have a choice on the matter with A24. You know, go ahead, Adam. You first.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I've been in the last 4 days. I've seen The Smashing Machine, One Battle After Another, and Good Boy. I'm obsessed with the movies. I go all the time. Everyone should go all the time. The movies are amazing. And out of those three, actually, I loved Good Boy the most. Well, I don't know if you've heard of that one, but that one
You're not wrong. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a horror movie told all through the dog's perspective. Like the dog is the lead actor in it. And it's like, I've never seen a dog shot that way, and incredible dog acting. And you start to like, I'm looking at my dog after watching it, and I'm like, when she's looking off or like smelling something, I'm thinking about the movie and like how dogs perceive the world differently than we do. And that movie really like floored me.
Well, the thing when it comes to that, when I see people walking, I don't say hi to the human. I always say hi to the dog.
Me too.
Because the dog wants attention. I don't care about who's walking unless she's pretty. But at that point, it's the dog for me first. Sorry, Erin, go ahead.
Yeah, well, actually, with Adam, I know you're probably leading to this, but I want to know more about Gummy Bear.
Yes. Gummy Bear is a movie that I co-wrote with the director, a friend of mine. We worked on Legends of Tomorrow together. And when the show got canceled, we were both depressed. He invited me over to his place to shoot a 5-minute short for free, for fun. Really crazy about a guy who has a woman who delivers cannabis, and she gives him a gummy bear from Gold Naturals. And he takes the gummy bear and it's like a crazy trip. And so we got into a bunch of festivals. We had a lot of success with it. And we decided we need to make this into a road trip horror comedy. And we've written it. We're in development. I'm really excited about it. I feel like it's going to be fantastic. And look out for it soon. The Gummy Bear.
Well, perfect, right?
Sponsored by Gold Naturals.
That's right.
That's good.
Hey, Erin, talk about when you come back into the country, when you go to the UK and you're there. What's that like? Because I've always wondered what it's like to go back and forth. Sophie Mielis does the same thing when she goes to Italy and she goes to Greece. But there's a lot more people doing that too. Because unfortunately, and Adam knows this, a lot of things are being shot more outside the US. And it would be nice if we could get a lot of it back here to help those people who are struggling in the US.
That's true. I mean, it's like two different planets, to be honest. But Scotland didn't, at one point, there was basically nothing being shot there. And for the agency that I own, we've got a division that supplies background. And so we did Batgirl, we did Indiana Jones, we did Batman, and they were shot in Glasgow, in my hometown, which is like 15, 20 years ago. If somebody told me that, I'd be like, no, never, that's never going to happen, But there is a lot more being shot there because the bigger budget films are getting really good tax breaks. And that's the reason why. Also, you can make Glasgow look like New York. It has that feel to it. And so you're right. It would be great to see work coming back to Los Angeles. You miss like walking down the street and just seeing all the trucks and like all being set up. I remember when I first moved here, you'd see that a lot, and it's just sort of dispersed. So we'll just have to try to fight to bring it back.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's we're looking at that for Gummy Bear too, debating whether to shoot it here or in Canada. And Bow Artist at War takes place, in Europe. We shot it in Vancouver. ultimately these are business decisions, and no one's going to choose to shoot in the States if it's more expensive. That's just a fact. So
I think this is a question for the people who make these decisions. Like, where's the logic? Like, why are they making these decisions? But get them on your show, Brian. I'll definitely watch that.
yeah.
Well, we have been getting them on. So it's interesting because I challenged the theater owners from Regal, because one, don't really care for them, because I think it's one thing to have reclining seats, but you got to have those good movies that people will go out and see, or else they'll go and play the games in the arcades and go eat some pizza, but they won't go see the movie, which the whole idea is to go see the movie and play while you're waiting. But they don't do that, and I get on their case because I don't care. When Howard, when we were at the National Film Festival, we were just sitting there. We didn't go in that day. We were just waiting for somebody to call. But it was one of these things. I was counting how many people were going to that Regal Theater there. It was busy outside. I saw people shopping. It looked like an old Southern California day of what they were doing there in Franklin. Was it in Franklin, Howard? I can't remember. No, Green Hills, Tennessee. So I see a lot more Californians there. I see a lot more traffic there in Atlanta. Obviously, it's in Texas, Florida, and Nevada's lost a lot of stuff because people don't go and really gamble. They used to go see plays. Remember that, Adam? Nobody's going to Vegas to see because there's nobody there. People.
Vegas. I love Vegas, and I will say it's and I go there all the time. But I've been complaining about this for the last few years. They are squeezing dollars every way they can from people when they go there, and every time there's a new, now I have to pay for parking, now there's the resort fee, now the tables are not paying what they should be on blackjack. Like, they're just nickel and diming, and people are like, you know what, this is too expensive, I don't need to come here.
Well, you're seeing it, you know.
Brian, I mean, it's a great point for me to bring up. I've been going back and forth between Chile and the US for 12 years. I have a boutique hotel down there. We run incredible retreats. If you're interested, just contact me. It's gorgeous. And one of the things that I've been opening the doors to is location shooting, because it's so incredibly beautiful, and the prices win, right?
Wow.
So, yeah.
Hey, we got a couple minutes left. Erin, give you social media links for people to reach out to you and come see you at the Viper Room.
So yes, I'm playing the Viper Room on the 5th of December. And you can get tickets on my Instagram, which is Erin Gavin Artist. I think that's all my social, to be honest, just Erin Gavin. You'll find me in any social media and a wee link. So thanks.
Oh, and talk about your latest song real quick. Go ahead.
My latest what?
Song.
My new song?
Mm-hmm.
Velvet Chains. So that comes out on the 7th of November. And it will be on all streaming platforms. So, yeah, I give it to you. So feel free to play it.
Howard, social media links where people can reach out to you.
Yes. I heard my name. I don't know what you're saying, but I'll talk anyway.
How can they reach out to you, Howard, on Facebook?
He's muted.
Howard Wiggins. He's Howard Wiggins on Facebook.
And that's where Carol comes in when Howard can't hear.
Yeah.
All right, Carol, go ahead.
I'm at NeuroCoach Carol on Instagram. It's like neuroscience, URO. But you can also find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram at Carol Register.
Terry.
I'm on Instagram at Terry Marie Nonstop, and also on TikTok on Terry Marie Nonstop.
And for the audience, so Terry's reached 1 million views on one of her interviews that she did. We have to talk about that because I want to make the other co-host get 1 million views too. And things coming up also. Jake, why should people reach out to your product? How can they order it? And social media links?
goldnaturalshemp.com if you're looking for a way to feel well naturally. And Gold Naturals Hemp on social media. Check us out.
And Adam, last but not least.
Yeah.
Adam, socials. What do you got coming up next?
On Instagram at Seky, TSEKY. Check out Bow Artist at War in theaters right now, and look out soon for the Gummy Bear, sponsored by Gold Naturals Hemp Company.
Woohoo!
And
Look
you
at the
know what?
connections we make here.
Exactly. And that's a good thing about that. So, and I always say this, I got to go to the film festival tonight, Hollywood Park Film Festival, which is going to be exciting. I got to go to Vegas for the Mr. Olympia, which starts tomorrow. So I always say this, have a good night tonight. Have a better day tomorrow. See someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. I am Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.